Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM. Welcome back to Aghalee Farm. I hope you're all doing very well and having a lovely day. Just, obviously in the telehandler at the minute, just topping up the cows with a bit of food, throw a couple of hay bales in the mixer here, grab a couple of silage bales, get it mixed up, sort them out with a bit of feed for the day. So, we're in the second day of October, the last day of October. Let me just jump out of the cab here, get a couple of these bales unwrapped, because we don't want to be sticking that wrap in the mixer as well, do we? So, what's happening on the farm today? Well, before I crack on with sorting this feed mix out, we still have 2 fields of grass left to cut that are at their second growth stage, so we do need to get those done. But in between episodes I've been having a bit of a think, as I like to do, and thinking about how we can expand and move forward and, you know, add a bit of variety into the mix, as it were. Now, one of the things that crossed my mind is obviously we've got 8 or 9 fields, I think, in total, and we only have one of those as arable at the minute. We've got the field of canola, field 50, right the way over there. But we are currently in the very last window of opportunity to get a winter crop into the ground. We can plant winter wheat or a winter barley at the minute, and I'd like to do that. Most of the fields we have, in my personal opinion, aren't really big enough, especially for the harvest, just to make things a bit, you know, get a half-decent yield out of them. So, what I did have in mind, after having a good think and a look around the map, having a bit of another expansion with a bit of land. So if I jump very quickly into the map PDA, here we are. So, we have, where are we? Field 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fields in total. That's the canola field down there. Everything else is grass. These 2 are growing. That's growing. These 2 here, 43 and 53, are at their second growth stage, ready to go. 24 and 45, still at their first growth stage. But I kind of figured I'd like to, like I say, have a bit of an expansion and look to expand our portfolio of land. Now, those of you who've seen a few of my previous series in the past, especially the recent Tahitian one that I'm in the middle of doing, know that I do like a big field. And obviously the biggest field on the map that I can see from here at the minute is field 14. Now, I did have a look at that and see what kind of money that costs. So if I go into the farmland menu, it actually comes as a parcel of land with 2 fields. And that costs £240,465. So essentially just less than £250,000 quid. But I feel that it could be a good investment. Now, if I'm kind of sensible, currently at the minute it's full of grass, it's ready to cut, we can mow it, so we could potentially make the purchase. We'll have to get into a decent amount of debt for it, obviously, but we can get straight into it. We can forage it, stick it into the second silage bunker over here, and eventually make some money back from it. I did have in mind that the canola field that we've got going over there, I could, if I was to justify getting into such a huge amount of debt, I kind of thought as soon as that's ready to harvest, we could harvest it, and whatever we gain from that financially, we can pay that back onto the loan, couldn't we, potentially? That would probably be a sensible thing to do. But with what I had in mind from that field 14 initially is we could cut it right now, get it foraged, get it cut, get it turned into silage, make some money back from it, and because we've got essentially the rest of this in-game day, October the 2nd, I could really pull my finger out, run the cultivator in there and drill it with a winter wheat, essentially, and get something in there ASAP, so that we can get something out of there ASAP. Essentially, that's kind of what I had in mind. So I think I might go for that. Now, if I was to run the current machinery that we've got, obviously the forage harvest is fine, but it's quite a big field over there, and I've only got the one silage trailer, which is particularly small, so I kind of thought as well, I might, if I'm going to get into debt, I might upgrade for a slightly bigger silage trailer, but keeping hold of this one as well, because if I was to run a forage harvest in that field, I'm going to try and run both tractors with 2 silage trailers and try and get it done a little bit quicker and a bit more efficiently, potentially. Won't necessarily be financially efficient, obviously, because I'll have got into debt, but I've got my eye on one of the Richard Weston silage trailers. It's just under £23,000, 22.5 to be precise. It's got a slightly bigger capacity than the one we've got. So yeah, so I'm thinking that area of land is 240,000 quid. The silage trailer is, as I say, just south of 23. So if I was to just get if I'm going to get into debt, I may as well get into debt properly, hadn't I? So if I got myself a loan of 300,000, that'll leave us with a little bit more money in the bank to essentially be able to help us initially over the next few months through the winter with a few loan payments potentially. But yeah, that's kind of the loose idea that I've got, so I think it might be a good idea. I may as well, hadn't I? Increase the portfolio of land, and as I say, it means we can have a bit more arable land, get some wheat drilled, hopefully by the end of this game day. Yeah, and at the minute, as we stand at the minute, without having made the purchase of the field yet, there are a handful of trees sat in the middle of the field that I could get a couple of quid back from. I'd have to lease a log fork for the telehandler, but essentially there's 3 big oak trees essentially across those 2 fields. I think it's 3 anyway. So we could get a couple of quid back from that if we took that wood to the sawmill. So that's the idea. So I'm going to finish off here, get the cows fed for the day. The sheep are fine. They've still got, if I just run over very quickly to here, they've still got just over 10,000 litres of food, so they're all good. We currently have 767 litres of wool. Come on, you lot. Pull your finger out. Or hooves, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, right. So, I'm going to get this lot sorted, get the cows fed, and I shall pick you up. I'll take you on a journey over there to the field. I'll show you what's going on over there. We'll go from there. Right, cows are all fed, sorted out their straw bedding for the day, so now I can concentrate entirely on what is hopefully going to be our new purchase. Now I'm on my way down there now. I've got the telehandler, as you can see, I've got the low loader, and I have just leased this log fork. It's on the front of the telehandler, so that we can get rid of these trees, all 3 of them, take them over to the sawmill and get a few quid back in the bank for those. So this is us here, just on the left-hand side in the distance there. Got it wired into the auto drive network, so hopefully it should make its way in here problem-free. Oh, it does look like we might have just grazed that gate post there. But yes, this is us. So we haven't bought it yet, obviously. I haven't done the loan or anything yet, but as you can see, we've got those 2 big oak trees in the field, and there's a 3rd one over there in the neighbouring field. Now this is the only access point to the neighbouring field here, so what I might do is, when we do make the purchase, I am going to be doing my my field trimming, just to make life a little bit easier for courseplay when we get running in here. But what I might actually do is, if I bring up the mouse cursor, I might run a little lane just neatly around the edge here to make a more authentic access point into the field here, because if I do turn this to arable, I do have I always have crop destruction turned on, so I don't want to be destroying any crops. So I think that's what I may well do. But let's turn the engine off for now, just to save a bit of diesel. Let's jump into the menu. Let's go to the loan system. So take loan. Right. So let's have a look. So 300,000. I know that's a little bit more than what we do actually need, but as I said before, if I'm going to get into debt, I may as well get into debt properly, hadn't I? So we'll take it over 6 years. That gives us a monthly repayment of 4,707. Take loan. So our monthly repayments now for all of our debt is just north of £7,000. So there we go. Done. So let's enjoy that 6-figure bank balance for a matter of seconds. Jump back into the menus. Let's go to our farmland. So there, as you can see, 2 parcels of land. Purchase that. Boom. Okay. This is now ours. Now, I'm not going to buy the precision farming data because that's quite expensive. I think what I will actually do is lease a field scanner and very quickly just come into the field and get that scanned off camera just so we've got the data all loaded in. But I have also purchased a chainsaw. So let's crack on with this, shall we? So, no, I want to duck down first, don't I? Get as much of it as I can. Where are we? Doesn't seem to. Oh, there we go. We had it registered there, didn't we? Come on. There we go. Right. Get as low down as we can. Get as much wood back as possible. There we go. Let's get rid of that stump. There we go. Now, I don't know how awkward this is going to be. These big wonky oak trees don't work as the same as some of the other trees. You can't necessarily... Or can you? No, you can't just necessarily run up and trim them all down, do you? So, let's trim them all down like this. Get rid of these big chunks. There we are. It's not registering that one. They are a bit awkward, I appreciate that, but... needs must. Where are you going? Right, do you know what? Leave this with me for a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I shall tidy these trees up, get them all chopped down. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm essentially going to, once I've trimmed them all down, I'm going to drive up next to the unchopped tree log and offer it up against the length of the low loader trailer here and just cut them to the length of the trailer as close as possible. Because I think, obviously, the longer pieces of wood we get, the more money we get, don't we? So, I'll pick you back up in a few moments' time. Right, that's the first tree kind of dealt with. I've never actually used one of these log forks before, so you'll have to bear with me. Which way do I go? That way. There we go. Drop that down on there. Excellent stuff. Let's jump out and just strap that on a little bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, all the little bits of tree log that came off that we trimmed off, the chainsaw icon just went red on them, so I was able to just remove them completely. Saves faffing around with them, because they are a bit of a pain. So, there's one. I'm pretty sure these other two... In fact, this one's closer in it. Let's go into this field and get this one. There we go. So, I'm going to get this done, and I'll pick you back up when all the trees are on the back here, and we're off to the sawmill, which I think is... Where are we on the map now? Let's have a look. The sawmill. Yeah, it's just here. We've not got far to go. Right. See you in a few. Right, all sorted. That was a bit of a faff, if I'm honest, but we got it done now. I'm hoping we can get our way in here. There we go. Excellent stuff. So, the cell trigger looks to be just round here. I don't actually know where I'm meant to sit, but let's just see if that works, shall we? Cell wood. Nope. Do I need to be in here? Possibly. Really don't know, to be honest. Let's see what happens. We'll pull it in here. In fact, let's just unstrap them so that doesn't cause us any problems. Right. There we go. What's that giving us? 1,295 quid. Well, okay. Better than nothing. Spent more than half of that just on the chainsaw, so I suppose, including the leasing cost, we've not really made any money from that whatsoever, have we? Oh well. I suppose I was doing it properly. I could have very easily just lumberjacked those trees out of the field and pretended they didn't exist in the first place, but at least I can say I've done it properly. Right. Anyway, that's that done. So, let's get back to the farm. In fact, while we're here, let's jump very quickly into the leasing menu. Let's return that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's get back to the farm, get rid of this lot, and I think we need to get straight to work, don't we? So what I think I'm going to do, in fact, before I do go back to the farm, very quickly, I'm going to spend a few minutes just in construction mode. I'm going to trim down these fields, as I have done with all the other fields that I own, and I'll pick you back up in quite a few moments' time, I think, when we're all sorted and I've got the machinery on the way to here to get foraging. So, see you shortly. Right, here we are. Now, of course, I have had to lease a cutter header for the forage harvester here. Just, there we go, look at that, threaded through the eye of a needle. So, this one, it's a class branded one. It's got a width of about 5 meters, I think, so should be able to crack on with this field pretty efficiently, I feel. But yes, as you can see, this is our new Richard Weston SF14 silage trailer. This is ours. I haven't leased it, I've purchased it, so hopefully I'm not going to regret that too much when it comes to the auto drive anyway, and running this thing back into the silage bunker. Now, this field we are going to be taking to our empty silage bunker over on the farm, silage bunker 1 as I've got it labelled on auto drive. Obviously we've got the other one that's fermenting away. I think that's currently at about 40% at the minute. So this huge field, we're going to get stuffed into that bunker. Got these two obviously hooked up with the silage trailers, and as you can see as well, I've spent a few minutes in the construction menu and I've painted in this little lane to give ourselves a bit of a more natural and authentic access point to the neighbouring field there, field 19. As I said, if I'm going to turn this to an arable field with a bit of winter wheat in there, I don't want to be destroying my crops as I'm accessing that other field, so I figured I'd just do it like this, and I've trimmed the field down as I've done with all my other fields as well, so fingers crossed, touch wood, this whole horseplay thing will work without too many problems. So, anyway, right, we're here, we've got everything in the field that we need, so let's crack on, let's get mowing.
Desert land where the sun beats down like a cattle brand. No
Right, there we go. That was a pretty well run job, if I don't say so myself. That ran pretty much like clockwork, as it should do. Auto drive did its thing, waiting on the one-way courses, because obviously this map, all the road network that I've laid out on here is predominantly one-way courses. So, as it should do when there's a tractor on that one-way course, if there's another tractor looking to head in that same direction, it will sit and wait until the other one passes. So that worked out really quite well. So, yeah, but good job, well done. Absolutely sorted. We have got, currently in the bunker over at the farm, we've got just over 190,000 litres of chaff. There's just over 4,000 litres sat in the cane trailer here. I'm not going to spend too much time at this minute compacting it and levelling it and all that kind of stuff, because I may well stick another field's worth on top of it. So, anyway, but we've done alright. That's pretty decent. And we've got a pretty decent chunk of land here, don't you think? For an arable field, I think on this map in particular, it's going to be pretty decent. So, I'm going to get everything back to the farm now. Off camera, hopefully very quickly, I'm going to rent very quickly a field scanner and get the data logged into the system here for the precision farming. I'm then going to run the field cultivator and get it all sorted and potentially get it limed and give it a quick once over with some fertilizer as well. Essentially, get that bit boxed off, and then the next thing we will be doing is running the seed drill in here and getting some winter wheat sown. So, I'll get all this lot sorted and I'll pick you all back up as soon as possible. Right, I suppose welcome back feels like the correct greeting, because for me it's been several hours since we sorted this field out with the forage harvester. I have been considerably busier than I initially planned to be. So I've done what I said I was going to do. I have cultivated, limed, and I have fertilised this field. But I've also done the same with field 19 here. This is the reason why I've been busier than I expected to be. I kind of, as I was working in this field, I kind of thought, hang on a minute, I should really be doing the same in this field as well. Time isn't on our side, as we mentioned before. We're in the last day of October, so this is the last opportunity we're going to get to drill some winter crops into the ground, winter wheat, of course. So I kind of pulled my finger out. I re-rented the cutter header for the forage harvester, got all this done, ran the pretty much the same setup we had before, but just running one tractor essentially. Got it all cut, stuffed into the bunker. So now we in the bunker silo that we were tipping the chaff into previously, we're now literally a couple of hundred litres shy of 300,000 litres. It's not been fully compacted yet, so I haven't covered it over yet, but I'll probably get that sorted ASAP. But I kind of thought, if I'm going to get this big investment to start paying back, I kind of need to get this done. Now, the other reasons I did this is looking at the size of the fields. If you pop into the active workers menu, if you're on PC at least anyway, you can click on the field number and it'll show you the acreage of the field. Now, the field 19 here is 6.09 acres, field 14 is 9.59. Now, field 19 is exactly the same size as field 50 that we've got over here, so it makes sense to me that the three biggest fields that we own we put to arable. So that was one of the reasons why I thought I'd better pull my finger out and get this sorted. So as you can see, I've cultivated, we've mowed, we've cut, we've stuffed it in the bunker, we've cultivated, we've limed, and we have fertilised. Now I know ordinarily as well you should fertilise when you've got the crop in the ground, and I know nothing is in the ground at the minute, but as some of you may well be aware, if you fertilise with a sprayer with the automatic application rate activated and there's nothing in the ground, by default it sets the amount it's spraying to wheat. So fortunately, because we're putting wheat into the ground, I figured we may as well just go ahead and do it. So going into the precision farming menu, as you can see there, nitrogen levels are tip top, pH levels are tip top. I've scanned the field as well. Obviously we've got the data sorted for that. Seed rate, obviously we haven't planted soil types. Now we have got a variety of the soil types here, as opposed to our initial fields up here, which are almost all silty clay. We've got a bit of everything. So we've got some loamy sand, we've got some sandy loam, we've got some silty clay, and we've got some loam. So that's all good, I guess. Now I've been on top of doing all that as well. As you can see into the distance there, I've sorted out the telehandler, loaded it up with a pallet fork, sent it off to the shop with the trailer, and I picked up 4 bags of seed, And I bought that down here just to sit and wait in case we do need to load up with a bit of seed as we are seeding. So that's just going to sit there for now. I've got the seed drill hooked up to the Voltra. So let's get ourselves back to the farm, park this thing up, we'll get back here and start drilling. Right, here we are, back at the field. As you can see, we've got 1,543 litres of seed in the hopper currently, and as we saw before, I did purchase 4 extra bags of seed just in case. We probably will need something at some point potentially, but I figured we're going to need seed at some point, so 4 bags will do for now. So nothing left to do but to crack on. I'm going to pop this field into a cinematic, and off camera before I pick you up again I'll get that field done as well. So see you all in a couple of hours time.
Goddess, a little too modest. My hair comes down every now and then. A wild card with a reckless heart. I've seen love come around the bend. I raised babies that were not mine, and I might raise my own on my own time. Been handed fate, was too late. Made my luck on my own dime. Been called too crazy, been called too blind, but I built this ground I'm walking on. Been running ever since I was a child, drowning out the noise with the red dirt in my voice. Build a kingdom of just to burn it down, and if you need me I'll be laughing at the pain, dancing in the flame. Every heart grows a little cold, and every soul is bought sold. Truth be told, it's getting old. I'll find a place where I can go. Start a fire and rise again. Right away out on the wind. Been running ever since I was a child. Drowning out the noise with the red dirt in my voice. Build a kingdom up just to burn it down, and if you need me I'll be laughing at the pain, dancing in the flames. I've been running ever since I was a child, drowning out the noise with the red dirt in my voice. Build a kingdom up just to burn it down, and if you need me I'll be laughing at the pain, dancing in the flames. I'm a gypsy goddess, a little too modest, still dancing in the flames.
And there we go, both fields completely done now. Now of course, obviously with me being in the last day of October, I couldn't afford to wait till the morning to do the field rolling at all, so I have just obviously got that done as well off of camera. So now both these fields are completely done, boxed off, growing, looking good. pH values perfect, nitrogen perfect, expected yield 121, yield potential 125, so it's all good. That's all that matters. So important work done, as it were. So I am quite glad that we've made this big investment. It is a big investment, obviously, you know, to the tune of, well, today 300,000 quid's worth of debt, but eventually it's going to pay off. It really is. We'll We'll get this, hopefully a good yield of wheat in a few months' time out of this field. We'll get the straw from it, of course. We'll keep both fields worth of wheat in the silo, because we have a silo now, of course, as well. Till sell time. And we'll use that money, no doubt, to pay off a chunk of the debt, as we will the canola field as well, when that's ready to harvest. But it's been a long day today, I've got to say, but we've got a lot of work done. We really have. So I am going to call it here for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you're new to my channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel, giving the video a like if you can, if you have liked it, of course. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing a DLC, an add-on, a season pass, or even the full game itself, and you like the idea of helping a content creator out at the same time, as always, I would be hugely appreciative. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks for your time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.